a new coaching program. The program is a 4-step program for clients who would like to move on. They may not know where they want to start or how they want to start, but they actually want to move on from the position they're in. Now, when they move on from this position, change happens fairly quickly, but then people tend to plateau out. So I've created a 4-stage program which will assist people to monitor the changes that are happening. Because as change occurs very slowly with some people, it becomes integrated in your life and you don't really recognise that you've made any changes. That'll really depend on the client. There is a program of one initial session, and then there's 2 sessions, and then there's 4 sessions, and then there's 1 a month for a 12-month period, just to make sure that other things don't come up as those changes occur. I've had a couple of clients who've gone through weight changes, and the people that were in their lives at the beginning created a lot of challenge for them during that journey through that change, which then could set them back a little bit. So as we deal with the people and the influences from the external and how that affects their internal world, that assists them to keep that progress occurring and recognising that there is progress. Anybody who actually would like change in their life, so it doesn't matter if they're a professional or in their personal life, or it may be actually just changing their job or looking at new horizons of where they could actually go. So it could be anyone from the age of a teenager right up to someone who's looking to retire and fill in their lives in retirement. We have emails, texting, Skype is also available. The contact that I would have with someone would depend on what field that they would feel comfortable in. Normally outside factors rather than their own. People's belief in achieving that change is really good. It's the tall poppy syndrome that we actually need to deal with, unfortunately, from the outside, because people don't want to be left behind and they don't want that person that has been part of their life to move on. So when that happens, then they will do everything that they can to maintain the relationship they've had in the past with that person. There's quite a few different factors that we look at. We look at their personal position in life, so their physical, their mental and their emotional. We look at the environment that they actually want to go into and whether it would best suit their personality and identity, or whether it's out of alignment with their skill level at that time. So it might be a personal skill that they may need to upgrade, or it may be a professional skill they may need to upgrade to get them to that point where they want to move on. So I look at what are those aspects, what are the values that they have at the moment, and whether those values are actually getting in the way of where they want to go. So I might look at their structure, postural structure, what type of physical advertising they're doing with their presentation, what type of people that they would like in their lives. Most people actually can't identify who they want. They can identify who they don't want, but not necessarily who they want. And if they can identify who they want, it's so specific that there's no room for any movement. So we look at all those aspects. It's just like going on and doing an advertising program for a product that you have. You are the product of who you are. So that's what people are attracted to. Are you expressing the best part of who you are, or are you actually advertising the worst parts of who you are, or someone who used to exist in the past and who no longer has that presence in this moment? In the reality, the accountability is how much you're going to spend on doing nothing or how much you're going to spend on moving forward. If you're going to do nothing and spend the money, is there any purpose? But if the accountability really comes down to what you want to get out of that journey. If you want a result, it's really up to you. I'm there to assist you to keep you on that path. I'm a trained hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner. I'm also a psychosomatic therapist and trainer. So I teach and show people how they can best create great habits, be functionally aware of their body and how it functions with their mind, and having them both on the same track. So utilising my mental background, like in NLP and hypnosis, with my psychosomatic background, which also comes together and creates a whole experience. There is in that resistance, when other people recognise change in you, you've represented a particular part of them and their interactions with you. I do have a couple of clients who have very interesting, used to be perceived as symbiotic relationships, but they actually didn't. It was quite a one-way street. So one person would expect a lot of the client, and then all of a sudden the client actually starts getting their own identity, their own personality, knowing where they want to go, and are no longer available energy-wise to this person in their life. And there can be some really unpleasant experiences, but I also teach people how to cope with those situations in a functional way. So even when I'm no longer in their lives, they have a tool that they can go away with and deal with these types of people in other areas.